fantastic speech. Oh, don't run away. There's a small gift for you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the
And I believe tomorrow there could be an excursion up to Cleveland. Is that correct? Is that still possibly?
Yeah.
Still going ahead. Good.
Yes.
Excellent. Wow. There's a lot in that today. Look, we're a bit over time, but we won't. I'm realising there'll be people who are probably flying out. We won't go over the final time. I've just adjusted things a little bit. We might just have a little bit less for afternoon tea and perhaps get back into it quickly. Thank you very much again. And in a way, Marlon, that was a good sort of sum up in some ways of what a lot of other speakers have been talking about. You sort of brought that together with a bit of reality check of running a farm over the top of that. And I think that was timely. It wasn't by any means anything out of context. That was good. So what I want to do now is just before morning tea, and you've only got 15 minutes, but I don't think you'll need more than that, Duncan, anyway, is Duncan just wants to talk quickly about, a little bit about how Reddick see funding in the future and what else is around and how these funding cycles work. And I think a little bit of your thoughts on where we might head. I think that's good information as well, Duncan. So do you want to get up and talk about that now, and then we'll break for afternoon tea.
Great, thanks very much, Mark. It's great to be here with lots of passionate Camel people, and really good to hear the talk about people and culture, and really have a program for investing. Really have a program for investing in people, and so people are very important to us. And when we think about why we're doing the agriculture that we're doing, it is to look after farming families and people in our industries, give people jobs and contribute to the economic well-being of the country. But that's the sum of the well-being of lots of people. So I really appreciate that sentiment, and I also really appreciate the general sense of independence, and that's a fantastic thing for businesses to have, to be in charge of their own destinies and to have that sense of liberty that we admire in our American friends. But we also do have an opportunity to work together as well as being independent businesses, and that's perhaps where we can join together and work with government as well, and that's perhaps where Reddick can help. And so while we've got a 10-year plan for the dairy industry, and perhaps later on we could flesh out how we might find investable projects in the genetics area and in the nutrition area, and maybe something to do with standards which relate to some of those things. So I've been trying to piece together a frame of how we can find an investable project under our research funds. And I said that we couldn't invest our research funds in marketing, and that really does only apply to the research funds. So if you're asking about the other types of funding that are available, it is possible for Reddick to invest money in marketing, but the way that works is that an industry would develop a marketing levy, they would give that money to us, and we would invest it in marketing on behalf of the industry. Now that money doesn't attract the dollar for dollar matching that we get with the R&D money, and so it's one I didn't mention because I think that the collection costs would be perhaps too much for the camel industry, and that money at this point wouldn't be able to develop a material budget for you. But it isn't that it's not possible, it is possible for us to be involved in marketing, and that's a recent change to our legislation, that we can collect a marketing levy as well. But we could, as I mentioned before, collect a research and development levy, and then the Commonwealth has a guarantee of dollar for dollar matching on the spend in R&D spend. And so that gives the industry some level of surety, and so over time the industry might consider an R&D levy to enable us to invest in projects that benefit the industry in the longer term, and that's a normal relationship that we have with rice and chicken and ginger and buffalo and kangaroo and tea tree, the other industries that we work with, and all the other RDCs have that type of relationship. So that's a unique feature of the Australian situation, I guess, something that I think is the envy of other countries who have to have that level of coordination in R&D. But there are other things that come across our desk, and so while I was just talking about the R&D money, we have an R&D budget for investing in